hey, I have reached out to you, to forgive you. I know you abused me, you mistreated me, and you don't have any kind of a remorse, or, you're not interested in apologizing. But still, I want to be the bigger person and I want to forgive you. No, I don't do that. And, no one in the right state of their mind should do that. Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about, the reasons why forgiving your narcissistic parent is not essential for your healing and growth. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So I get to hear a lot of, these gaslighting, phrases, on social media. Well, you have one father, well, you have one mother, honor thy father and mother. It was their first time as a parent. Parents are gods and all that, bullshit. And, all of it is basically to, protect, these narcissistic parents. All of these gaslighting phrase is basically to help and in a way enable these narcissistic parents, narcissistic individuals evade accountability and responsibility, for their action and behavior. It's not to help the victim, it's not to help you and me. It's basically to help them evade accountability and responsibility. It's basically to, protect them, from the consequences, of their action. Well, he's your father, or I know what she did was bad, but you have only one mother. Yeah, so it's not to empower you, it's not to help you in any ways, but all of these gaslighting phrases is basically to, you know, uh, protect the abuser, the narcissistic parent. This is basically to again push you back in that cycle, push you back in that circus, yeah, not letting you come out of that cycle, come out of that circus, yeah. So, a lot of people, at some point they really, get carried away. They really, believe, all of these phrases and statements that we get to hear. They, even reach out to me and they tell me, well, Sarah, I feel guilty, for going no contact, because after all, she's my mother, he's my father. I get it. I mean, you have to, decide what you want to do with your abuser. I cannot, spoon feed you, or I cannot put words in your mouth, or I cannot, force you to do anything. uh, you need to decide what you are capable of and how well you are able to protect yourself. Yeah, so that decision lies with you. But to tell you honestly, you really don't need to forgive your narcissistic parent in order to heal. We are pressured to forgive our narcissistic parent, abusive parent. Well, he's old, she's old, they are going to, be punished by God, they will go to hell. But why you, doing a bad karma? Why you, doing, all of these things? Why are you doing all of these things? Why don't you become the bigger person? Yeah, and let them, face, the consequences, once they are dead and gone. You just be the bigger person and forgive them. You will never truly heal if you don't forgive them. Yeah, so we get to hear a lot of these shitty things, and all of it is again, to help the abuser and to, keep you powerless. Yeah, to keep you trapped in that, narcissistic, family, to keep you trapped in that, narcissistic relationship. So, coming to, the different reasons why forgiving your narcissistic parent is not essential for your healing and growth. The first reason is forgiveness doesn't undo, the trauma, or, it doesn't repair the damage. Yeah, I mean, if I was burned, abused, and mistreated, and one fine day I decide that I will forgive my abuser, by forgiving the abuser, are all those memories being erased? am I able to repair the damage? The answer is no. Yeah, I mean, nothing good is happening by forgiving, your narcissistic parent. Yeah, but again, I mean, our toxic society, wants us to be with our abusive parent, with our abusive partner. Yeah, because family is above all, blood is thicker than water, all that, bullshit statements that we get to hear. So you need to understand that forgiveness doesn't undo, the damage that's done to you. I was, sexually abused, and, by my uncle. I am scarred for life. I will never be able to forget that, experience. Yeah, I was, treated horribly by my mother. I mean, till death, I will not be able to forget that treatment. Now, tell me honestly, I mean, me forgiving my mother, or me forgiving my uncle, or me forgiving my narcissistic father, is it going to help me forget all that, that I had been put through? Is it going to erase the memory? No. So, if someone, pushes this narrative, if someone pressures you into forgiving your narcissistic parent, just ask them, will forgiving them make me forget what I have been through or what I have experienced, because of them? So, we don't necessarily need to forgive our narcissistic parents in order to heal, grow, and move on in life. That's a lie. It's all to keep us trapped, it's all to support, eulogize, and make the narcissist more powerful, the narcissistic parent more powerful. Yeah, you don't need to forgive your narcissistic parent. The other reason why forgiving your narcissistic parent is not essential for healing and growth is because, releasing pain doesn't, require excusing abuse. Yeah, so, um, you know, letting go of anger or resentment is for your peace. Yeah, I mean, it's not for the others. You can let go of your anger and, resentment. It's for your own peace. Yeah, not for their redemption. You need to understand that. Yeah, you are doing all of these things for yourself, not for their redemption. They did horrible things with you. Whether they have this awareness, or whether they accept, whether they realize, whether they apologize, whether they seek forgiveness, whatsoever, it's their business. You can let go of the anger, you can let go, of that resentment, to keep your peace, to be calm, to be in control. You can do that for yourself. Yeah, but not for them. So you can, let go of, your anger, resentment, for your own peace. And that doesn't necessarily require, you forgiving your narcissistic parents. Yeah, I mean, you can heal and move on even if you don't forgive them. Forgiving your narcissistic parent is like telling them, I'm up for another round of abuse. That's what it is. The other reason why forgiving your narcissistic parent is not essential for your healing and growth is because, forgiveness can, feel like gaslighting when the abuse is ongoing or denied. Yeah, I mean, if your parents are not taking accountability and responsibility for their action, if they are constantly abusing you, and they are just invalidating your experience, they are just dismissing, and they are just denying, of the things that they have put you through. So I mean, in that case, how is forgiveness going to help you? I mean, is it going to give you closure? Is it going to in a way, stop that experience, or in a way stop that ongoing abuse? If you forgive your narcissistic parent, will they stop abusing you? No, they will keep on abusing you. They are never going to stop. Yeah, and you need to understand that you don't necessarily have to betray your truth to appear, a person who's spiritually evolved. Yeah, you don't have to do that. I mean, when you are experiencing abuse or whatever you have gone through, or it's an ongoing, abuse that you're experiencing, and then when you're pressured into forgiving your narcissistic parent, it's almost like gaslighting. you know Others are gaslighting you, and then you are also gaslighting your own self, and you are just giving them a free pass. You are just giving them another chance. The other reason why forgiving your narcissistic parent is not essentially going to help you heal or grow is because for many survivors, uh, not forgiving is something that brings real closure. I never, forgive, my abuser. And that is something that helps me with closure. That helps me move on in life. Because if I forgive, I'm again, opening a door or a window or a ventilator or a small little, hole, from where they can, come again in my life. And I don't want that. Yeah, I mean, me not giving forgiveness, which is not asked in the first place, helps me with closure. And if someone reaches out to me and seeks forgiveness, then of course I tell them, okay, I forgive you, but I am not going to give you access back into my life. I'm not going to be available for you anymore. Okay, you're seeking forgiveness, I forgive you. Go ahead, I have forgiven, I'm done. Yeah. But if someone is not seeking forgiveness, I'm not going to hand out forgiveness. Hey, I have reached out to you, to forgive you. I know you abused me, you mistreated me, and you don't have any kind of a remorse, or, you're not interested in apologizing. But still, I want to be the bigger person and I want to forgive you. No, I don't do that. And, no one in the right state of their mind should do that. Forgiveness is something that is seeked. Forgiveness is something that is asked by the one who has abused you, and now they're genuinely feeling sorry. They have remorse, and they are feeling guilty. Yeah, when they reach out to you and seek forgiveness, go ahead and forgive. Forgiving them doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to sit on a table with them. Forgiving them doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to have access back into your life. No. Plus, not forgiving your abuser, the ones who are not seeking forgiveness, it's absolutely okay. It is going to help you with closure. Me not forgiving my abuser helped me with closure. Yeah. I'm not into reaching out to them and telling them, I forgive you. I forgive you for what you have put me through. I'm not going to reach out to my uncle and tell them, I have become the noblest, I have become, the most spiritually evolved individual, and I forgive you for sexually abusing me. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I will never be able to forgive them. They didn't reach out to me and they seek forgiveness. They didn't do that. And, they don't even have, remorse. They don't even feel guilty for what they have done with me. They're absolutely okay, and they have moved on in life after, abusing me. So, if I'm expected to reach out to them and tell them, I forgive you, that's stupidity. Don't fall for that, and don't let these assholes gaslight you into forgiving your abusive parent, your narcissistic parent. Yeah. So for a lot of us, not forgiving is actually something that brings closure. Yeah, so you really don't have to forgive your abusive parent. You really don't have to forgive your narcissistic parent in order to heal and move on in life. The other reason why forgiving your narcissistic parent is not essential for healing and for your growth is because healing is about reconnecting with yourself, not reconciling with your abuser. Yeah, so healing is to get in touch with yourself. Healing is not about finding ways to get in touch and contact with your abuser, and put forth this petition in the court, and seek their validation, seek their apology, and expect them to understand, and expect them to understand and have this realization of what they have put you through. No, healing is about reconnecting with your own self and not reconciling with your abuser. Yeah, and this rule is applicable in every case. Yeah, whether it's a narcissistic parent, your narcissistic spouse, narcissistic lover, narcissistic children, narcissistic sibling, anything and everything. Healing is about reconnecting with your own self. Healing is not about reconciling with your abuser. Yeah, so your growth depends on self compassion, and not on making peace with someone who refuses to take accountability and responsibility for their action and behavior. So if your narcissistic parents are not taking accountability for their action, you're not doing anything good. Instead, you are damaging yourself more. Yeah, by communicating and by just forgiving them, and they're not even accepting that they had put you through shit. They had tortured you, antagonized you, and abused you. Yeah, so if someone is refusing to take accountability for their action and behavior, you really don't need to forgive them. Forgiveness is something that someone seeks if they genuinely feel guilty, if they have remorse, if they have some kind of empathy on the inside, if they have a functioning brain. Yeah, then they are going to have this realization, and then they will reach out to you and they will seek forgiveness. I mean, I do seek forgiveness from my partner, my partner seeks forgiveness from me. We do apologize, we do express remorse, we do express gratitude, and there is no ego business between us. But when it comes to narcissistic parents, their ego is more important than their relationship with you. Their ego is more important than the pain they have inflicted on you, or the pain that they have put you through. Yeah, so their ego is more important, and they genuinely don't seek forgiveness. So there's no need for handing out forgiveness and screwing yourself more. And the last reason why forgiving your narcissistic parent is not essential for your healing and growth is because forgiveness is a very personal choice. It's not a requirement for recovery. Other individuals might tell you, I mean, therapists and coaches, they might tell you forgive and become a bigger person. No, you don't need to forgive in order to heal and recover. Yeah, you need to understand, you as a human, you are allowed to thrive, grow, and be free without offering forgiveness to the ones who have hurt you, who have put you through misery, who have tortured you. And you need to understand that you don't need to forgive those who don't seek forgiveness. Yeah, don't just get into this mode of handing out forgiveness. Oh, you abused me when I was 6 year old. I forgive you. Ah, you abused me when I was 15. I got it. You put me through shit. I still remember. I forgive you. Don't do that. You don't need to forgive in order to heal, evolve, grow in life. Right. So yes, these were, the reasons why you don't, need to forgive your narcissistic parents, in order to heal, grow, and evolve in life. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.